Hey everybody, and welcome back to part 2, and we're going to go from 5 to 1 of what I think my top picks are for January. Now before we do, I just want to have a quick look at, I did a big pick in August 2017 for what could potentially be the big gainers in 2018. Now, I just really wanted to highlight this, that sometimes you don't always get it right, and I don't always get it right. So you can see here that the kick ICO is still below a little bit of the ICO price. But that sometimes happens. You can't always pick a winner. However, I'll forgive myself because I was a big backer of Verge back in the day, and you know, I've seen some other YouTube videos and bits and pieces, but I think my video at 0.021 was when it bottomed out and when I was telling people to buy. So all I hope is that lots of people watched the video, a lot of people got on the back of it, because obviously you would have made some humongous gains on the back of that. I know I've made some huge money on it. I know I sold out at 3 cents and bought back in at 5, but sometimes that happens. But you know, made some huge gains. I know a lot of people that I was coaching have made huge gains as well, and that's really good. And you know, I did get a lot of stick when I put this video out. So this was my first ever cryptocurrency video. It was really just to sort of have a reference to go back to, and everyone was saying, why not OMG, why not this, why not that? And obviously now it's quite apparent why, and it's because I'm trying to look forward into the future. And for me, the next future bit is the third generation coins. Some of them are going to go absolutely bonkers, but it's just sitting down, and I know that when I pick them, people will go, well, why didn't you pick this, why didn't you pick that, oh that's rubbish, and all the rest of it. I sort of don't listen to that noise. I do my research, I pick what I'm going to pick, I go big, and I sit on it and I make my money, and I'm happy as Larry. And sometimes I get it wrong, and sometimes I hit it big. And here I hit it big, along with Bitcoin and some of the others as well, Litecoin. You know, that's why I'm edging towards the 200k mark now, which is just phenomenal in the first year, and especially just from 500 quid, which is bonkers. But yeah, just want to say another massive shout out to everyone that's following, liking, commenting on the page. I started this as just a little thing to do. I never realised that so many people would watch the videos, and I'm very humbled by the fact that lots of people do, and I just hope that you get lots of value out of it, and you make some money and change your lives and do some great things. So thank you. So no surprise, Verge. And the big thing is, it's on people's radars now. People are starting to take it seriously. Before it was, you know, it's less than a penny, why would I buy that? And people just didn't grasp the concept, but now they have. I mean, it's going massive. Again, people have made huge gains on this. Personally, 119-fold on my core holding. Obviously, I sold some out at 3 cents and bought back in at 5, which was, hey ho, that's what you do sometimes. But holding a good chunk of Verge. You've got the Wrath protocol coming out in 3 weeks' time. So again, it's going to make it the ultimate privacy coin. So you're going to have stealth addressing and also the IP address. You know, there's a big word there, but it just means that you can't see it. So obfuscated. So that is Verge. I think, you know, even just in a little bit of the channels that it's trading in at the moment, we've seen it jump to like 23, 24, then it comes back down to sort of 18. So there is some trading channels that you can take advantage of this before the next push. And there will be a next push. I'm quite bullish by the end of the year. This will be a $2 coin. The next one is Qcoin. And again, this is a very new exchange. It's very much Chinese-based cryptos. And again, we know these guys pile in hard. When they want to buy something up and take advantage or have the majority position, these guys will come in heavy and they will buy everything up. So we know that there's potential in terms of the type of cryptos that they're holding, and in some cases they are the only site that hold that particular crypto. The other thing is that the really interesting thing is that they've got additional pairings. So they've got neo pairings now. So again, it's opening up the marketplace. And again, we've seen the Binance coin. I remember I bought Binance coin at $1. And everyone was saying, buy it, buy it, buy it. I just bought it so I could get cheaper fees on Binance. So I bought a whole bunch. And now it's worth $10 out of absolutely nowhere. I can't say that was a major pick I bought on purpose. I bought it because it was a functionality thing. And I think that's where it's really coming into play. That it has a functional value. And based on that, it's going to get used a lot. And obviously they've got the big thing with Binance at the moment is the token burn, apparently. So obviously that will increase the value. But again, Qcoin is working on very much the same premise, and I think this is why I think that we potentially will see this grow, especially as they start adding some new cryptocurrencies. You know, that coin will gain in functional value, and that's what you want. If something's got functional value, then it's better than speculative value, because speculative value can just drop, the arse can just drop out of it straight away. But functional value, you're more likely to hold the value more longer term and also see significant growth as well. So for me, Qcoin is a little bit of the dark horse at the moment in terms of the platforms, but I think this one could do some great things. Now the next one is Lisk. Now they've got the relaunch in February, so obviously people buying in January, ready for all the action in February. The best way to describe what Lisk is, it's Ethereum based in Java. So the big thing with Ethereum is scalability, and also the fact that it's just based on Solidarity, and not many people are using that. And also we've had like the network being incredibly slow, you know, when CryptoKitties killed it off. So for me, going forward, we need more reliable, scalable platforms, and potentially Lisk is one of those options. The other thing is they're going mobile, so that's going to be a huge thing, because every time I see anyone release their wallet app or whatever it is, as soon as it goes on the iOS store or Google's, then we see a huge jump there. The other big thing is these guys have a huge social media following. There is a huge community behind this. And I think especially if you're a web developer, there seems to be a very strong technical community around this as well. So again, very good to see, and that is really good in terms of long-term gains. Now, Lisk currently $23. By the end of the year, this should be over $100 at least. Now, for me, the platforms are the big movers and shakers. You know, it was a toss-up between IOTA or Lisk. I think they're both very good projects, both very much worth holding long term as well. But I do think we've seen in 2017 that privacy coins and platforms have been the key drivers, and I don't think that's going to be any different next year. I think there'll be a few other projects that will come to life, sort of like INS Grocery and things like that, but in the main it's still going to be very much platforms, and the newer platforms growing, and the privacy coins as well. The next one is Aeon. Now, I first bought into this about $3.50, so it came onto Binance. The price plummeted. I watched some videos, did some research, and I was actually quite impressed. I bought in, and then I day traded it, so I came straight back out at about 540. Now, probably kicking myself a little bit about that, but I am looking now to go in probably for about 5 ETH on this one. Really like the look of it. Now, one of the biggest issues that we have is inoperability. It's one of the biggest issues, and it's one of the key issues that Cardano is looking at fixing. So these third generation cryptos are really starting to come to light, and I think that's, if we're looking at a third trend in 2018, I think it's the third generation cryptos which will be the next growth platform that you can get behind. Now, they're creating obviously Aeon 1, which is creating compatibility across all the different coins. So basically it's trying to enable all the different coins to sort of talk and interact with each other. So it's creating, so Aeon becomes like this one network that's able to encompass everything. And that's what I really like, because once we get that, all these different isolated chains will be able to talk to all the others, and we'll be able to obviously move our money around into different coins, do different things very securely as well. So that's the key one. The big thing for me as well, when I did some research on it, is that when they did the ICO, they only took what they needed. So they were going to have a public ICO, but they, from the private ICO that they did, they had enough money to crack on, so they did. And they said, if we need more money, we'll do another ICO. But for now, we're just going to, we're not greedy. We're just going to take the money and get on with the project. And for me, that is great, because I did a video a little while back where we looked at the top 10 grossing ICOs, and half of them are just gone, disappeared, or loads of issues going on. So getting lots and lots of money at the ICO stage doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be successful. I think it's having the right attitude, and these guys seem to have it. The other thing is they've got the One Chain partnership going on as well. So again, some real strong partnerships coming into play. Now, the one thing that I obviously look at is all that stuff is great, but what does it mean in real life? Well, a use case scenario would be is that I know, so through supply chains, because obviously part of my job that I do, we obviously have a supply chain that talks to lots of other different customers. Now, all of those different customers have different systems for their supply chains, and I know how incredibly hard that is to get those systems to talk to each other, because everybody has all the different systems and stuff. So really what Aeon 1 would do is enable, in a supply chain scenario, is that all of the different supply chain coins, tokens, whatever, would be able to talk to each other very fluid and make sure that it felt like one system instead of 5 or 6 different systems and feeling a bit clunky. So for me, I think this is a really good project and really has some long-term growth. And also, I think from the ICO price, it launched at like $30 or something. So again, most ICOs that we see, it does bounce back. So it might take a couple of months for this one to bounce back to some of its ICO launch price. Once it does, that'll be an incredibly good gain on this one. My final pick is the Request Network, currently at 32 cents. They want to be the crypto PayPal. Now, there is a huge opening for someone to grab this by the scruff of the neck and do it as well as PayPal, but without the fees, because that's what's killing everybody. PayPal, obviously linked with eBay, those two together, if you're selling something on eBay and you pay with PayPal, you're getting smashed. You may as well put it on a jumble sale, basically. But you've got some big things happening. So the reasons I believe in this is because they've got Y Combinator behind them. Now, this is the biggest startup backers in Silicon Valley. Now, they have some huge boasting rights. You know, they helped Coinbase, Stripe, Airbnb, you know, just to name a few, Dropbox, all these things that we just take for granted and we just used, but we didn't really realize where they came from. I mean, these guys, there's a whole bunch of others, so check out their website. And again, they've got these venture capitalists behind it, backing it. And the biggest thing I would say is not only is the money behind it great, but also the experience and knowledge that these guys help people with. So for instance, if we take sort of Airbnb, those guys got coached by people way better than them to obviously help them take their business to where they needed to take it. And if we look in cryptocurrency, a great example of that would be is that Julian from 10x, you know, he's never built a company the size and scale of what he's trying to do with 10x. So he's actually been personally coached by some of the guys at Airbnb, because they've been through there, they've walked the steps, they've had the coaching, they've had the mentoring. And I don't think you can put a price on that. And that's going to be very valuable to these guys as they move forward. They're linked with ING banking as well. So again, some big news will be coming. And this is really going to help drive the price. You also have the fact that when the tokens are used, some of them are burnt as well. So again, as we see and go forward, the supply will reduce, yet popularity will increase, therefore driving the price forward. Now, there's a couple of competitors in the space already. There's Monetha, but Monetha's really missing that sort of intermediate piece. So if something goes wrong, then you can potentially get your money back. With Monetha, you got no chance. It's based on this rating of how good somebody is. But at the end of the day, that's not going to draw people into cryptocurrency and give them the confidence. They want the fact that they can... you know, if something goes wrong, that there's someone there to help them or at least intervene. Monetha doesn't have that. So again, it's doing well at the moment, but I don't see it having the longevity as something like Request Network. Utrust, I would say, is probably the closest competitor at the moment. But again, Utrust isn't a working product. It's still not released yet. Still, people don't have its tokens. It's still not trading at the moment. So I think they're a little bit behind the curve at the moment. But Request Network seem to be, for me, they seem to be a very solid project, very good team. And for me, it's my number one pick for January. And this one I will be accumulating and putting it into my long-term portfolio. So I just thought I'd quickly share my long-term portfolio with you. So in there, I've got Verge, Bitcoin, Ripple. I mean, some of these I've been holding for at least 6 months plus in some cases. Ethereum, EOS, Neo, again, I've been holding Ethereum from January. EOS, I think, is obviously those platforms that were doing incredibly well, and Neo, just for the point that I'm making money on the gas all the time. And again, you know, there's as we've seen on some of the sites, that they are now getting pairings as well. So again, starting to get that usage, which will be really key going forward for them. Some other key projects, I think Substratum, net neutrality is a huge issue and someone needs to fix it, and Substratum are the guys to do it. 10x in terms of payment, I just think that's incredibly strong, and I think just Julian is one of the most open, honest and forward-thinking guys out there in crypto. So, and I just think he's very tenacious in what he's doing, and I think that's going to be a very successful project. We've got Cardano as well, so again, huge third generations. I think this will be where some of the growth comes from next year. So we're going to see huge growth in platforms still, huge growth in privacy coins, but I think the decent third generation coins will be the ones which will be the surprise next year. Again, Komodo, Sleeping Giant, Atomic Swaps, let's not underestimate that. These guys will be doing a whole bunch of really good stuff. It will be a global product very soon. So take something like, just one project, INS Grocery. They are going to be using Civic as like the security piece. They plan on going global in every single country and trying to dominate the online grocery market. And obviously they'll be able to do it at 30% cheaper. So people are just going to flock. And Civic's going to be one of the key players in there, along with something like Ambrosius as well. So that's, again, something to have a look at. And also Salt lending is going to be huge in 2018. There'll be so much speculation behind Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the rest of it that we're going to be able to put our money into the crypto bank as such, gets a fiat loan out, because most of us are fearing we don't want to sell our crypto because it might go up and then we've missed out. And one of the biggest sort of emotional drivers is that we never want to miss out. We always want to be part of it. And for me, it's very clear that this will play a huge role next year, because we know that Bitcoin price will hit $40,000 easy next year. There's no question about that. The thing is do you want to sell out your Bitcoin to go get your new bathroom, or do you want to put it in Salt lending and take a loan on it, and you might put it in at $14,000 and you take it out at $40,000? How exciting is that? Normally when you get a loan out, once you've paid it off, you get naff all back. So it's an absolutely ingenious, but I really like it, and I think it's going to play a bigger part as we go forward in 2018, especially when it goes live and everything else. And the other thing is Litecoin and Dash. They're the coins that I mine. I'm going to start buying some S9 soon, but again, very bullish on these two. Have been from pretty much day dot, hence why I spent so much money on the mining gear to get these two in. And yeah, I mean, really happy with my sort of portfolio as it is now. If there's anything that people say, hey man, you're missing this, have a look at that, drop some comments down. I'll have a look at it, potentially maybe do some reviews on it, because I'm always open-minded to what's out there. I don't think I know it all, because I don't. I think this whole thing that we're doing at the moment is all about sharing and being a community. And again, this is why I have my group, PT Cryptocurrency Community Group. Come along. Come and learn together. I mean, if you're brand new to cryptocurrency, I've got a course, the link's down below, check it out if you want. But there is something coming called Crypto Rookies, and that will be a new one-stop platform for everything crypto related. It's going to be huge in the space. It's absolutely brand new, and it launches on the 1st of January. So please check it out, guys. And as always, if you found the information useful, please like, comment and share. And I will see you on the next video.